Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Today we are taking on one of Minecraft's most notorious challenges, the 404 challenge. In this challenge, you have 1 day to collect as many resources as you can from the surface before plunging into a gravel sinkhole. This gravel sinkhole takes you directly to lava level. The complicated bit to this challenge is once you're down there, you can't go back. There's no going back up to the surface, none of it. You have to stay in the cave. You can't use torches, only natural light. And you can't build around you to survive. On top of that, you've only got one life. Hardcore in 1.3. Genuinely innovative and a way to add an amazing challenge to the game. If you guys want to see more to this challenge, please like, follow, subscribe, whatever, depending on whatever platform you're seeing this on. And I can continue it if you guys are after that. Anyway, I won't blabber on too much more. All I'll say is that the credit to finding the seed initially on the Minecraft forums is to Neos, and the seed is Minecraft's 404 seed. Without any further ado, let's get into the video. I shall see you all very, very soon. Goodbye. And here we are in beta 1.3. This is the setup for the world if you guys want to try it for yourself. It is quite it's quite simple really, but you've got to be in the beta versions from 1.3 to 1.7, so anyway, as I load into the world, I know I only have 10 minutes to gather as many resources as possible, so I instantly begin to gather wood, and this is without a doubt the most tedious process ever. It takes forever in beta 1.3. It just feels like it takes longer, so I've sped it up slightly. We collect some saplings and some wood. Because when you're down there, you're going to need a decent wood supply. I start, crafting, and I really quickly figure out you can't hold to drag over select, tiles, so I have to individually craft, which is going to take up a lot of time doing this. I get a pickaxe and decide to mine some cobblestone in this little pool of water. I also grab some coal. I've sped it up because it is unbelievably tedious to just watch somebody mine, and I don't want to skip too much, to be honest with you guys. Anyway, I get to crafting some stone tools, and I just tried to make the entire set because you have to use a hoe to get seeds in this version of Minecraft, and seeds are your only way to get food, with bread being the only food source available to you at any given point. So I'm on my crafting table and just get to absolutely shredding the ground, tilling it all to try and get as many seeds as possible before I go down. I also don't want to spend too much time doing this, so I just use one hoe and then gather some dirt afterwards so that I can actually plant some crops while I'm down there. My next task is to explore some more. I kill some cows, I kill some sheep, just to get some general resources, and then I realise there's no button, there's no beef, it's literally pork chops. So I decide to set my eyes on pigs and other sort of resources. I didn't notice that one over to the left, but I heard this one down here. So I really, really apologise because I didn't actually realise that my game sound wasn't on for the recording for like the first 5-10 minutes of this. However, I do quickly sort that when I realise it, and you'll notice that later. Anyway, I spent some more time getting some wood after killing that pig, because I knew that once I went down there, it would be really, really difficult to get more wood for a fairly decent amount of time. Now, while I've got a minute, I'm going to explain the rules of this challenge. But the rules of this challenge mean that I can't place any blocks from me to the cave. I can, during my 10 minutes, explore sunlit caves like this one, which was really good timing. But I actually can't block myself off from the cave, so no barricades to, defend yourself. So you've got to get creative on how you block mobs from getting to you. You have 10 minutes in real life, which equates to one daytime cycle. And after those 10 minutes are done, you have to go to the gravel sinkhole and drop down till lava level. In a very short moment, you're going to see me realising that I had my recording GIF for game audio off completely. Yeah, I know. Stupid. Anyway, I continued exploring, just gathering some materials, but more with the rules. I you need to just gather as many materials as you can on the first day, as I already said. But you have to play on normal or hard difficulties, and here the shade goes from light to slightly darker, so it was time to head towards the sinkhole. You have 1.3 beta kind of availability of items, so it becomes quite difficult, but you know, it's quite intense, really, because it is a really difficult version of Minecraft. You know, the beta versions of Minecraft were ridiculously difficult. Anyway, that's the final look at the sun, and now it's completely dark. I've gotten over to the island. Let's enter the sinkhole. So you break this piece of gravel, and it all draws. Ooh, zombie. Wonder if I can hit that. Nope. Nope. Anyway, I accidentally got a feather from that. But you drop all the way down, and I've completely, you know, forgotten where that drop of water is later on. So I was hiding after dropping into the cave to use my inventory, and a jump scare happened with that skeleton. But after some decent amount of exploring through the open cave system, I found this little corridor, nice and tucked away. So I spent some time just making it a base, setting up my operations, just so I've got a little bit of, you know, somewhere to call a safe place. Started smelting some iron, then I realised I should probably block that off just so that there's only one way that the mobs can get to me. As long as there's one access method for the mobs, it's allowed, you know, as one open portion to the cave. I continued mining out because I understood that I was going to need some resources. Now, the origin of this challenge was in 1.3 beta. People were searching for the most difficult ways to play Minecraft, and Neos found the 404 seed after the error code. You'll see I explore here and find a very familiar looking location for later in the video. But yeah, he was exploring, or they were exploring, and found this seed and decided to make one of the most difficult and most infuriating challenges in Minecraft history. So since then, this seed has become absolutely notorious. Like, I say it a lot, but it seriously is, you know. Many Minecraft players that have been playing for many years will understand what this challenge is and know how difficult it really can be. You know, how well renowned it actually is within the community as well. So I just cooked my pork chops in this little section, so I had a decent amount of food, continued mining, and all that lovely jubbly. Found a lava pool underneath me, which this cave is riddled with lava pools. It is amazing. But more about the backstory. So he found this seed, or they found this seed, and it was a huge cave, so they decided to make one of the most difficult Minecraft challenges that has ever been heard of. I personally think this is more difficult than hardcore Minecraft in the modern day, because there's that much can assist you in the modern day, such as shields and stuff. Here you can see me moving bases, so I decided that I'm finally going to use this little section, which is ridiculously good for setting up bases. I've found I played this 3 times and I died twice, so this is my 3rd run. So I'd had a little bit more experience, but this place is ridiculously good for setting up your little base. I just spent some time prettying the area up, really, making the little pitfall nicer looking, more concentrated for the mobs. But yeah, the idea that the cave has to be open is really quite scary, because it means that if you drop your attention for like a minute or don't have your audio on, then monsters can come and grab you and just absolutely destroy your entire run, which is gut-wrenching when it happens. I got 40 minutes into a playthrough and then I died, which was ridiculously unlucky. And in my first one I gave up at one point and I got killed while I wasn't looking. The giving up was because I didn't prepare well enough on the surface, so I didn't have the items to better, you know, take on the challenge. But anyway, here you can see I'm just kind of more hollowing out, more completion of the cave, sorting where my base would generally be, and this is probably one of the most important bits in early game. Luckily I had headphones on, so I heard that zombie. But yeah, so as I was saying, the setting up of the base is without a doubt one of the most important things. Setting up a farm early, setting up, you know, smelting early and light sources. I got really lucky here. As I was excavating, I found iron in my wall. So another one of the rules is you can't strip mine, and that is because it's meant to be more challenging that way, which I agree with. It's ridiculously more challenging. And it's to kind of help promote how difficult the challenge is. Now here you see my pickaxe broke, so I decided to craft an iron one from what I know, but I did start smelting some iron ore. As you can see, just kind of crafting, and there's the iron pickaxe. And then this bit was more excavating, lighting the base. This was in, I think, 5 times speed, so I did spend quite a bit of time sorting the base out. And this was an hour worth of recording, so you know, it kind of puts it into perspective of how long it actually takes to set up and establish a decent base in this game mode, as to how difficult it actually is. And there we are. So first set of boots, you know, got that protection for the cave system. First piece of iron armor. And as you can see, I'm just literally expanding the base some more. This was in, I want to say, 10 times. This was, no, this might be 5 times as well. I think this is 5 times, but it's just a lot. More iron armor. Got myself an iron chestplate, feeling pretty geared. Felt confident and decided to go into the cave system. But as I was going to, I realised that the pit is 1 block and spiders can go over 2 block gaps. So I now had to sit there for 5 minutes and just reconsider my life choices. So as you can see, I literally just stared into space. Anyway, more base building. The important bit of the challenge, just base building. You will see my 1.2, 1.8 character quite a lot during this clip. It's one of the editing styles I've been trying. But I saw a zombie and decided to try out my pitfall, and at this moment I realised enemies can jump. Yeah, that was a heavy moment, to be honest with you. So with excavation time to set up a 2 wide, you know, mining drop gap for the mobs. So there was some more prettying up that went into it. More setting up at the base. Tried to make it a bit safer by putting blocks. Now you'll see one of the stupidest decisions I've ever made. Anyway, back to exploring the cave, and I just kind of like wandered just aimlessly, trying to find some resources really. Now I'd healed, and you're about to see one of the gravest mistakes you will ever see in this challenge. So I'm going to warn you, like, this was ridiculously stupid, and I felt like an absolute idiot for it. Safety. Safety. Won't be doing that again in a hurry, I promise you that. So I sat in a corner and healed up. I had a little mental moment which I caught, but it was like literally 5 minutes of me sitting there just in awe as to what I'd just done. But I got back to exploring, decided to head home. Anyway, that was a preview of what I was listening to the entire time. So we've got the Minecraft music on in the background to make it a bit easier for you guys to listen and watch. But I was experimenting, and I realised you can't put stairs in a normal order and join them, which was heartbreaking. But yeah, those cave sounds were what I've been listening to the entire time. I didn't have any music on, so it was kind of, it was really intimidating. Quite difficult for me to, you know, focus. Anyway, back to more base building, after getting myself some iron armor upgrade. And I went exploring during this time as well, and I got back home, and I placed my block, and here is the first show that the 2 block was exactly what I needed. And I literally sat there, I got up from my chair, and just, I was overjoyed. Genuine happiness. Then the skeleton thought he could beat the system, and I thought, nah, not today, mate. So, and during this moment, I realised that lava towers are glitchy in this game. This game mode is really buggy, 1.3 beta is one of the most ridiculously buggy modes in Minecraft history. Of course, it's beta, so you're never going to have it perfect, but I realised that if you stand on these sides, you know, I couldn't even tell you whether it was north, west, south, or east, but if you stand on the inside of these lava pools on the right, in this top corner, you're actually going to start taking damage, and I experimented stupidly with that, and I realised it was only on the inside corners, so I blocked that up, and got to more excavating and base building. Now, I knew I was going to need a farm, so I decided that what was best was to hollow out an area and set up some soil for some farmland. And instead of making it just farmland with water in between, I made sure to place underneath level, just so I had some space. I placed a chest down, if I can decide where to put it. I believe I ended up putting it on top of my crafting table, after blocking up this hole, which I don't know why I did. But, that was just to clear some of the clutter in my inventory. I left that open just so that we had plenty of space to go exploring in the future. So I placed all the non-important things in my chest, and as you'll see in a moment, I just literally continued to base build, which was mind-numbing. But a lot of this playthrough is going to be base building, so... And as you can see, we fully kitted out in iron armor, and another moment of celebration. As you can see, I was ecstatic I had to go into F5 mode. Anyway, I continued gathering some more iron for some more tools. I had needed another pickaxe before I can continue excavating. And once the pickaxe was made, it was straight back to base building. How riveting. Anyway, I'll cut forward for you guys, just so you don't have to experience more base building, because I'm sure you're through with that in a minute. And I'd placed the soil down, so I placed my water in the middle and began tilling the soil so that I had farmland to begin growing crops for bread, which would be, you know, my only food source now. And I realised very quickly that there was no light source at the other end of the room, and I just wasted 2 seeds. Not happy. So I began placing seeds, and I was questioning the middle row, so I thought, there's 2 seeds left, I may as well try it, so I tilled the rest of them and just placed them down. Quite luckily, I was able to continue planting them. But I decided that the other wall needed to have lava pillars in them as well. So I blocked up and then struggled really badly to fill out this, you know, lava pillar feed. Once I got it sorted, I got the lava place down, and there goes the second lava, meaning that this room is fully lit. And I got straight back to prettying the wall up again, so I just skipped forward for you. Now, I had an unbelievable scare there. I actually fell straight back into that lava, and I was so lucky I was in my farm room. Otherwise, I absolutely would have died, and that would have been an end of run right there, because I didn't have water bucket on hand, as I was still only on 1 source of water. Now, I just literally stood here for another couple minutes, just taking in how awful that was. And it kind of scared me quite a lot as a person, because I'd already been through, you know, 2 other playthroughs. This was my best run yet, so I didn't really want to reset again. But anyway, I used the bone meal to I used the bone that I'd got to get some bone meal to grow my crops quicker, so I could expand the farm that I actually had. And I just kind of stood and let my farm crops grow for a little bit. So I skipped forward for you there. And I decided it was time to kind of get myself some water and expand and decorate the base. So in this next little bit, I just did some wooden doors. Weird. Killed a creeper while I was AFK, and didn't even mean to. Came back and it was dead. I had no clue it had happened. Crafted another wooden door and did some more exploring after this, from what I know. Anyway, cutting to the exploration, I placed my single block to get over safely and went straight to exploring. Saw this and I thought, oh my god, there's a lot of mobs. So I went up this water tunnel to try and get my water, and there was, as I said, too many mobs. So I ran straight into my base like a toddler. Spiders can still clear the 2-block jump, but it's the only real method I've got for now before I add 2 lava pillars either side to make it even safer. So I just got to live with it. So I went out the back of my base instead, and decided to get my my water from the back of my base, which I seen quite luckily quite early, and creeper jump scared me there, and I managed to survive thanks to the full iron armor, which had taken some time and going. Killed this zombie, and then it was up to get some water. Now, swimming up water in this game is so unbelievably, like, tedious. It just takes forever, and it hurts to do, I will admit. It took me like a solid 30 seconds to get this water source, and in a modern update it would take significantly less time. So I finally got my water source, and I went straight back down to my base following the water that I had used to get up. Being careful of the lava. Should have gotten that iron, but don't matter. Anyway, I went back into my base and blocked up the path so that I was nice and safe, and it was time to create infinite water source. Oh my god, have I been waiting for this. Now in 1.3, changing the water tiles can actually get rid of the tilled, ground, so that was quite disappointing. I lost another seed. But with exploration in time, I'm sure that I can earn that back. So here's me filling up the infinite water source, and oh my god, was I happy. I didn't know what to do with myself. So what I did was I made infinite cobblestone generators. Worked on that very, very, very quickly before I sort of ran out of time. Now, instead of making these cobblestone generators, there is a feature in 1.3 where you can place redstone and get obsidian generators, and it's quite cool. So, anyway, I experimented, and I didn't like what I'd done with the stairs. I thought it just made the room too tiny. It felt too small. So I broke the stairs, one each, just to open up the room a bit. And that's kind of where I called it. So thank you very, very much for watching, guys. If you want to see more of this, then please feel free to like, follow, comment, all of that, subscribe, and I shall see you all very, very soon. In a bit.